Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. It is Friday, June 17th, and we have a lot to talk about today. As you can see from the title, I pissed a lot of people off on Twitter, and I want to talk about that and some other happenings in the world right now. First, I want to start off with Abby Lee Miller. Have you guys been paying attention to Abby Lee Miller's YouTube channel? It is everything. Okay, there are so many sides to this. Abby Lee, if you should so see this episode, I know you watch a lot of Dance Moms content online. I am begging you. I would give anything in the world for just a 10-minute interview with you. I have so many questions for you. I know my usual YouTube audience knows this about me, but if I have any new viewers out there, I have been a diehard Dance Moms fan since season 1. I own every season, and I literally watch it every day. When I'm up late at night and I'm editing my videos, I have Dance Moms in the background always. I love the dances. The show can be stressful. There's obviously a lot of drama. And there's definitely controversy with how the cast feels about the show, understandably. But I love the dancing. I do. I love the dances. I do think Abby Lee Miller is just an unbelievable choreographer. And oh my gosh, I watched the show and I wish I was 5 years old and I was taking dance from Abby Lee. I do. I know she was tough, but she did make some wonderful dancers. Nevertheless, obviously there's been fallout between the cast and Abby Lee. Abby Lee has started her own YouTube channel and she is like dishing on everything, on everybody. She really doesn't hold back, you guys. She talks about Maddie, she talks about Chloe. It's kind of wild. It really is wild. And I hate that I can't get enough of it. I'm sorry. I really can't get enough of it. Most of you probably saw that Maddie Ziegler, who was, the Dance Mom's favorite, is on the cover of Cosmopolitan, which is unbelievable. I am so happy for Maddie. She's phenomenal. I love her. I'll be honest, I've always been Team Nia. She has my heart. The best season is when Nia is just taking off. She's doing performances in Australia and filming her amazing music video. And I know this doesn't matter to anyone in the world, but it's really special to me. Nia's mom follows me on Twitter. So, hey, Dr. Holly. Abby had some really interesting comments about Maddie being on the cover of Cosmopolitan. She does seem really happy and proud. There's this after watching a few of Abby's videos, she has mentioned a multitude of times that she believes she deserves more credit from Maddie Ziegler. She said this in a number of videos, that there were acting coaches, dance coaches, singing coaches, a multitude of people working hard to make Maddie what she is. I believe Maddie left Dance Moms when she was around the age of 13, and her little sister Mackenzie left at age 11. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe Maddie literally started her dance career that's so crazy to say because she was so young, but her dance training, I should say, since she first started dance with Abby all the way to the age she was 13. So yes, those are very formative core learning years especially for such a craft, and any Dance Mom fan could see how much Maddie absolutely loved dance. However, there was so much pressure put on Maddie, so much unbelievable pressure, and she kind of gets into that in her Cosmopolitan interview. She said she wasn't allowed to be friends with her competitors, they didn't want them watching their competitors, and there was this just overwhelming pressure for her to win, which if you've watched even one episode of Dance Moms, you will know. I mean, go back to the episode where Maddie forgot her dance on stage, and Abby had an absolute meltdown. And Abby, again, if you watch this is why I'd love to talk to you, because I have so many questions about editing and what else was going on and blah, 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 because just production. We know how in reality TV, producers and editors really control the theme of the show, so I have so many freaking questions about certain scenes, and literally, you have no idea. But that particular episode, at least the way it was edited, and it seems like it was probably pretty correct, that Maddie forgot her dance and Abby was hysterical, crying, sobbing, saying her career was over, all because little Maddie forgot her little performance. I mean, I can't think of a word that fits how wild that was. So Abby Lee put out a video saying basically that wasn't true. Yes, Abby said that second is the first to lose, but she really says that it was Maddie who wanted to win so bad, not so much pressure being put on her, which I don't agree with. Abby Lee Miller also makes a few other interesting claims, like, obviously, Maddie truly blew up past Dance Moms fandom from the Sia music videos. Abby claims that she was the one begging and forcing production to let Maddie do these music videos because she knew it would be a huge step for Maddie. So I am really curious because there is talks on the show about how Abby was Maddie's manager to a certain extent. And so I really do wonder what that world was like. How much was Abby doing for Maddie to catapult her to her success? Now, I truly believe regardless if she did do Sia music videos or any of that, Maddie was destined to be a star. And she was just such a natural talent in Dance Moms. I mean, you could just see it. She really was born to dance. She looks beautiful. I love Maddie's pieces. I really, really do. The bottom line is, I think Abby really feels like she never got a proper thank you or any proper credit from Maddie. The question is, how much does Maddie have to thank Abby? Should she thank her till the end of time? I wonder what it would look like. The amount of thank you for Maddie to give Abby. What would that look like to Abby to be satisfying and would help Abby move on? Shop talk, if you will, but I really hope Abby Lee Miller is in therapy for a multitude of reasons, and I'm not saying that she needs it, but I'm saying I know how much just being on YouTube affects your mind. I've had to seek therapy directly because of being on YouTube, and thank God I did. It's very, very helpful. But imagine being on this reality show and you're just a dance teacher from Pittsburgh, and then boom, you guys are like huge, mega overnight successes, opening studios in LA, and not to mention that you're kind of the bad guy of the show. Abby even talks about she wanted to walk away from the show a multitude of times and they wouldn't let her. I'd love to hear more about that because I'm not sure. I understand signing contracts, but I'd have to imagine if it was like endangering your well-being, you'd have to be able to step back. But these were earlier times. And it's crazy because it was only a few years ago, but people really did not care that much about mental health. And it's still something that is very misunderstood. But what I'm saying is I do hope that Abby Lee Miller is seeing a therapist or just talking to somebody because, obviously she's been through a lot. She's in chemo. She's relearning how to walk. She went to prison. She was on this huge show where the majority of fans hated her and were mean to her. And she probably had overwhelming pressure and just overwhelmed with work and needing to, choreograph all these dances every single week and get these kids to number one. And it seems to me, as just an outsider looking on, Abby's having a hard time moving on. And I understand that because this was like a huge core part of her life. But I feel like she just still seems so focused on the original cast, not giving her credit that she believes she deserves for the lives that they have now. So I just really wonder what would be enough for her to let it go and to move on. Still talk about Dance Moms and everything like that because that's a part of her life story. It just is. I would hate for it to be eating at her all the time, and I hope she finds a way to move on from it. That's just my opinion. Again, I'm not saying she has to, and I'm not saying I'm right. It's really interesting, you guys. If you are a Dance Moms fan, please go watch Abby Lee Miller's YouTube channel. I mean, the things she talks about, it really blows my mind. I almost thought that she would never talk about the original cast or Dance Moms because I know these shows oftentimes have an NDA situation where they're locked in to not talk about it. But maybe that expired and she's able to open up more. It's interesting because I'm actually talking to somebody from a reality show that was recently canceled. I want to do an interview with them because it was absurd and it was weird. And it's really hard trying to find a way to talk and work around certain things that, even though the show was canceled, that the studio and the production company like put a lock on them, you know what I mean, to what they can say and what they can't for an extensive amount of years. So it probably won't even happen, but I'm trying to make it happen. So I know that it can get really, really, really tricky. These shows have crazy lawyers to make sure that you don't ever let anything slip. Check out Abby Lee Miller's YouTube. It is wild. It's wild. All right, next let's get into why I pissed everybody off so badly on Twitter, which unfortunately I've been known to do. I don't mean to. I have a blabbermouth. What can I say? I just say things. I don't know. It's why I started Cheeky Couch. I love talking about this type of shit, even if it's going to piss everybody off, I like to hear why. And I do like to learn. And though my opinion didn't necessarily change, I do see different points of view that I did not think about when I first was tweeting this. So brace yourselves. You're going to hate me, okay? You are. I'm going to let you know. Holy shit, it got a lot of retweets. I did not realize. This is why I'm getting so many crazy tweets. Oh my goodness. I have to tell you real quick, I'm very grateful, and I don't know why, but Twitter verified my account last year, and I have no idea why they did that, and I'm very honored, but like, yes, it's cool, but it also really effing sucks, because like, your tweets get pushed. Say you're talking about the Kardashians, and it's like a big time, everyone's talking about the Kardashians, like your tweet gets pushed out, and there's like a bajillion people who find it, who aren't necessarily like in our community. It's just randoms on Twitter who like decide they effing hate me and like send me weird messages. It's okay. And I should have thought about that before tweeting this. Maybe I should have waited a week or so for things to kind of cool off. But I tweeted, unpopular opinion, no one cared about that dress until Kim wore it. And I was talking about the Marilyn Monroe dress. Let me first start by saying, I was listening to one of my podcasts, and they were talking about the subject of the Kim dress. I tweeted that real quick, hopped in the shower, got out, and everyone hated me. I wish I had worded it better, because reading it back, I see how it sounds like, oh, no one cares about Marilyn Monroe. I didn't mean that. And I didn't mean that no one cares about the dress. What I meant when I tweeted that is that obviously people care about that historic dress. I mean, it's the Kennedy birthday dress. It's a big deal. It is. However, I feel that the amount of backlash of Kim wearing this dress and all these people coming around and like being so angry over this dress, I don't think once in their lives before Kim wearing the dress, they thought about that dress. I just don't believe that. For the millions of people who were upset, I don't think before Kim wore the dress, they ever spent 1 minute thinking about that dress in their entire lives. And I think once this dies down in a month, they will also never care about that dress ever again in the rest of their lives. That is just how I feel. I think people like to get really, 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 really pissed off at the Kardashians with good reason. I'm not saying they're wrong for it. And I actually agree with a lot of the points people made under my tweet who disagreed with me. So I do want to read those because there was some really good insight. And I didn't look at it from that angle. I honestly, my mistake here was just looking at the dress as a dress and not necessarily what the dress represented. So I got a lot of tweets that saying it's not just an unpopular opinion, it's inaccurate. If people didn't care before, they wouldn't be upset now. I completely disagree with that. People get upset about things they've never cared about literally all the time. It's what Twitter's for. It's kind of what's fun about Twitter, right? Like, this is what Twitter is for. So a little more context, after I tweeted that, TMZ just so happened, like, within minutes to set out their notifications, or they sent out the little, TMZ alerts that you get, and said that the dress was in fact not damaged. It's been confirmed by the Ripley's people that the dress was absolutely not damaged. They have a side-by-side picture of before and after Kim wore it, and they have all these little lines, and they show you everything is exactly how it is, because the big uproar was that Kim had damaged the dress. So Lizzie said, whether or not it was damaged, it's insulting to Marilyn's wishes and legacy that anyone, let alone a Kardashian, was allowed to wear it. I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair enough. We don't know what Marilyn would have wanted, so sure. Another tweet by Linny said, I think the dress is more of a symbol at this point of everyone being fed up with rich people getting to do whatever rich people want, while the rest of us suffer and barely scrape by and not even fathoming spending millions of dollars just to wear someone else's dress. That point I do definitely understand. A lot of us most of us are in crazy hard times right now with everything being so expensive. The housing market is a disaster. You guys know my story. I just got totally fucked. Sorry for my language. And we had to pay out the ass just to stay where we are right now, and it's awful. And so it is hard to watch the elite of the world just spend crazy money on just wearing a dress down an aisle. I get it. I do definitely understand that side point. And yeah, it makes you mad. It does. I totally get it. The other one that really hit it home was Sarah. This tweet here was the closest to changing my mind about how I feel. I still didn't change my mind. I still think a lot of people just like to be angry all the freaking time. But this one did really hit home with me. Sarah said, I revere Marilyn's life and legacy, and part of what's so disheartening about the dress being worn/damaged is that Marilyn was exploited for so much of her life, and it feels like this is still happening. And that you can't argue with. That is true. And I did not look at it from that angle. She was exploited her entire life and used by people her entire life. So I can see how people would take Kim Kardashian, which a lot of people are not a big fan of, wearing this iconic Marilyn dress as her being exploited yet again. What can you say about that? It's true. It's absolutely true. And so I really do thank Sarah for sharing her opinion on that, because I was like, wow, she got me. That is absolutely true. So my opinion has changed a little bit. I still think that a large amount of the people who are upset just fucking hate Kim Kardashian. But obviously a lot of other people see it this way, and this way makes the most sense to me. It's just another exploitation of Marilyn, and that's awful, and that's sad. And so, Sarah, I thank you for sharing that opinion. You're absolutely right, and I completely agree. And can I just say, I'm so thankful for people who will share their opposing opinions and not just call you a stupid cunt for it. You know what I mean? I got a lot of that. So I love someone who just calmly, nicely explains why they feel a certain way, and that's how you change minds, and that's how you mold minds, and that's how you share your opinion and get people to see things from your perspective. Because when you come snarky, snappy, rude, I'm not going to listen to you, and I'm not even going to read it. So thank you to Sarah for being so awesome and sharing your opinion, because you're absolutely 100% right. Let me know how you guys feel, and if I pissed you off, I am so sorry. Can we talk about Jamie Spears for a second? This demon, this absolute demon. How much more do you want from Britney? This is so upsetting. Britney Spears' dad, Jamie, wants her to sit down for a deposition. He's claiming she's trashed him all over social media with lies. He's clearly really concerned with her memoir that's coming out soon, which I think we're all, I don't want to say excited to read because it's awful, but I'm definitely interested in reading it, and he's clearly very afraid of what Britney is going to say. Jamie wants Britney to go under oath and state that these are lies. Some of the claims are allegations that she was forced to give 8 tubes of blood for medical treatment, was forced to participate in therapy, and was not allowed to own pain reliever medication. Britney's lawyer says this is another tactic to bully, harass, and intimidate his daughter, his own daughter. I completely agree. You've done enough to her, clearly. There was a huge court proceeding which you lost. Britney won. Leave her alone. I mean, I swear to God, we're all like having leave Britney alone moments right now, because this is insane. How much more do you want from her? You know, this is your own damn fault, and you're trying to take Britney's voice again. Again. You had it for her entire fucking life. Move on. Let Britney be happy, and let her share her story and her trauma if she so chooses to. Maybe you shouldn't have been such a little fuckbag, okay? Maybe you shouldn't have been such a horrible father. Maybe you shouldn't have been such a complete what is even the, captor? I just want to say captor. You know what I mean? Move on. Let her be. I am so annoyed by this. It is so frustrating. It's so frustrating, and I feel like it was so purposefully done right after Britney's wedding. Just had to just kill her buzz, didn't you? You guys just all want a piece of her. It's crazy. With her first husband essentially trying to not only just ruin her day, but potentially cause harm. Probably most likely cause harm. Had that on her wedding day. You know, now she's in her little honeymoon phase. She's feeling good. She has a new husband. And you're going to drop this on her. It's oh, you little gremlins. Get away from her. I just hope Britney is able to find some people. And I hope she has people in her circle that are trustworthy, that are protecting her. Her lawyer seems pretty great. And so I hope he's supportive and just does all he can to just get everyone the fuck away from her. I feel awful for her, and just ew. Just ew, Jamie. The world hates you. Stop doing things like this. Sorry. It's just infuriating. What more do they want from her? They have taken everything from her. And I mean everything, quite literally possibly her blood, okay? Leave her alone. And how is he to prove that any of this is a lie? from my understanding, he kept her pretty well hidden and pretty alone, pretty isolated. So how would anyone know? You know what I mean? Like, ugh, you're just such a gremlin. You could just so easily just go, retire, hide in your house like you made Britney do for most of her life. It's too much, and I hate him. I hate that this has been so much bad news. I promise we're going to have fun in just a minute. This is something else that really saddened me this week. The Wendy Williams Show is coming to an official end. It will not re-air after their last episode. As we all know, Wendy has had a really tough few years. She's been battling a lot of health problems. She has Graves' disease and an autoimmune disorder that affects her thyroid. And Wendy, I know she's a controversial person. She doesn't say the right things all the time, and she's made a lot of mistakes. And people have been really mad at her throughout the years. Well, rightfully so. She's said some horrible things. I just really admire Wendy. She came up at a time where it was hard for women, particularly Black women, to accomplish the success that she had. And, you know, she went toe-to-toe with the biggest and the best of them. And I admire Wendy. I know a lot of people dislike her, but I admire her. She worked really hard to get to where she was. If you've read about Wendy or if you watched her documentary, she had a really hard time in life. She went through a lot trying to get to where she is, and just in life in general was kind of an uphill battle for Wendy. I hate to see the Wendy show end. I hope she's getting all the help that she needs. I hope she feels better soon. I just know she's struggled for a really long time, and I hate to see it. I think we all knew it was coming. I know they were talking about for a while, like, who would be the new host of the Wendy Williams Show. They were having, like, guest hosts on, kind of covering it. And I think they just decided to end it altogether, which really does bum me out. So, but who knows what's next for Wendy? Maybe she's ready to retire. Maybe she's ready to just, you know, take care of herself, look after number one. Or who knows, maybe we'll see her again one day. I think Wendy would be amazing at podcasting if she felt up to it, if she was in better condition. I think she'd be an amazing podcaster. The thing is you don't even need these big talk shows these days. She could have a web show, she could have a YouTube channel, she could have a podcast. There are ways that Wendy could still be Wendy. And I would just love that for her. I hope that she does. But if she also chooses to just relax and take care of herself, equally support that, whatever Wendy needs. But personally, I've watched The Wendy Show for as long as I can remember. So I just want to say thank you to Wendy Williams for just being a encouraging source of just, you know, just saying it how it is. Saying it how it is, saying how you feel, and still getting back out there every day and facing the backlash that she got so very often because she made a lot of mistakes. She did. Nevertheless, I think that there are things to definitely admire Wendy for. And I do. I really, really do. So I hope whatever Wendy has in store for her next is amazing and everything that she wants. Can we please talk about the movie that I feel like I'm the only one who's excited for, the Barbie movie? I am so excited for this movie. I feel like I'm the only one. Like, everyone is saying that it's gonna be shit. I don't agree, you guys. First of all, Margot Robbie can do no wrong. She is a goddess among us, okay? This woman is so beautiful and so talented. For her to be Barbie, I am over the moon excited. A lot of people are upset that it's Ryan Gosling being casted as Ken. And yes, the picture is kind of terrifying. Like, he does kind of look not the best here in this still shot here. But I am so excited. I think it's going to be amazing. I don't think it's said if it's rated PG, PG-13, or R yet, but I have to tell you, I want this to be an adult Barbie movie. I think that would be freaking insane. I hope it's not rated G or PG or even PG-13. I want R-rated Barbie movie. I think it's going to be good. The cast is phenomenal. And, like, who the F cares? We've had a really hard few years. Like, let us enjoy this silly movie. Let us enjoy an adult-rated Barbie movie. Am I the only one who feels this way? I am pumped for it. I will be there opening night. You can count on it. I think it's coming out next year. I literally cannot wait, and I just want to hear your guys' thoughts on this movie. Next, can we talk about Matilda? I am really excited for this Netflix production of Matilda. I thought the preview looked pretty good, but people are really upset at Emma Thompson playing Miss Trunchbull. I can see it from both angles. I guess people are just upset that instead of using a plus-sized actor, they instead made Emma look bigger than she really is. I can understand that point of view. I'm sure there are many plus-size actors who need work, who would love this opportunity. So that makes sense to me. But I am really excited for this production. I really am. How do you guys feel? Does it bother you? I have to say, who I think would have been perfect, Aunt Lydia from Handmaid's Tale. She's probably busy with other work. I remember her from Garden State. Do you guys know that? Obviously, Jersey, huge Garden State fan here. Aunt Lydia, or Ann Dowd, plays Natalie Portman's mother in Garden State. It's crazy how different she looks over the years, but I think she would have been an amazing person for this part. Maybe she wasn't available, or maybe they really just thought that Emma Thompson's going to do the best job. But I do see both sides. I do see how, why would you do all that when you could just hire a plus-size person? But nevertheless, I'm excited for it. Are you guys excited for it? Let me know. Lastly, I don't even want to spend this much time on it because it's stupid, but Jeffree Star has stated that James Charles and Tati ruined the beauty community, and I want to hear your guys' opinions on this. I don't agree. I think things just evolve. They always evolve. I don't think you can say this ruined the beauty community, this ruined the beauty community, and I also don't think, I have to say there's a little correlation here between Jeffree Star and Jennifer Aniston. What's going on with Jennifer Aniston? I really don't think the beauty community is dying. I mean, my channel's doing terrible. I think that's how evolving happens. You get new, fresh faces, and it kind of feels like the OGs possibly are a little upset about the new TikTokers coming in. And it just reminds me of Jennifer Aniston's recent interview where she was talking about how she's very grateful that she was in acting before this whole internet bubble came. And now she's like, people are famous for no reason. And it's just kind of like, okay, as we've all observed, it's all nepotism in Hollywood. And it's kind of like everyone's getting pissed there that just ordinary people are making their own paths nowadays. Like, you can become famous from the internet. It's an amazing thing. You don't have to have a famous producer father or a mother who's a writer. You don't have to have those connections anymore. You can make your own path. And so Jennifer seemed a little salty about that. It wasn't a good look. I wish she wouldn't have said that because I love Jennifer Aniston. I hate her having that opinion. It's really painful. But that's how this felt with Jeffree Star saying that, they all ruined the beauty community. I don't think that any of that drama has anything to do with the beauty community. That's their own bullshit, quite frankly. The actual beauty community cares about beauty. You know what I mean? Yes, the drama's fun to observe and get all into that type of shit. It is. It's, we were stuck in quarantine for like 2 fucking years. And, that's the other thing is that I think the whole pandemic really tied into it. People aren't 100% as interested in makeup while we were going through these quarantine years because we were all stuck at home. There was a lag. And even beauty companies themselves are just finally getting their footing back in, getting things producing again and having collections coming out. But there was a big lull and it affected everything. It affected TV show production. The beauty community is not dead. It's almost insulting, I feel like. Tati, Jeffree, James Charles, they can't destroy the community. The community is bigger than that. You just lost interest in the community because people were sick of your bullshit. It's the truth. Jeffree Star was on top of the world at the height of the beauty community, for sure. People got sick of his bullshit. We all saw him playing all these sides, talking down to so many people. Personally, you guys know my feelings about Jeffree Star. I've never been a fan. I've called him out multitude of times. Not that it matters. He doesn't know who I am. But I have called him out a multiple amount of times because for me personally, what I was sick of is him demeaning women so freaking bad. I don't want to get back into all of that, but it almost just felt like because he wore makeup, he thought he had the right to just harass and bully mostly women in the beauty community. He had a few squabbles with men, but he, in my opinion, primarily targeted women. And that, who the fuck do you think you are? You know what I mean? So anyway, I just want to say the beauty community is not dead. It's just evolving like everything else does. I mean, you can look on Reddit, you can look on a multitude of places. The beauty community is very much alive. There are so many beauty threads on Reddit that have like hundreds of thousands of people in them and like at least 20,000 active like at a time. Like there are big beauty communities out there. It's just expanded. We're not all in the same hub. YouTube is not the only option anymore. We have TikTok. We have Instagram Reels. You know, Instagram's got much bigger with their video content. Whereas a few years ago, it was really kind of just Snapchat, Instagram photos, yes, but mostly YouTube. It's just that it's evolving. The community has not died. It is very much alive. It's just different. And you are just not at the top of it anymore. So you're going to say that it's dead. I'm so sick of people saying the beauty community is dead. I just don't believe it. The community is there. They're just more spread out. And younger, newer faces came up. This is why I think of the Jennifer Aniston thing, because it happens everywhere. It happens in movies, television, you know, acting, even in just corporate jobs. New, fresh meat come in all the time and the old people get pushed out. It's just how it works. So let me know what you think. Do you think the community's dead? Because I think it's as active as ever, if not more so, because it's just on more platforms. Let me know your thoughts. Jeffree, just stay out of it. That's all I have to say. Just stay out of it. You are negative. You are the negative source. Nobody else, it's you. And that's really everything that stood out to me this week. Let me know your guys' opinions on everything. We went over a lot in this episode, so I'm really excited for your comments. Please remember, if you disagree with anything I say, I love that. Let me know why. I am not above learning. I don't think I'm right all the time. Our brains are so amazing, and I would love mine to be stuffed with new point of views and new information. It's what life is about. If I've pissed you off at all, I apologize. Let me know why in the comments below, and I will thank you for it. Friendly reminder, you can listen to my podcast on Apple Podcasts. It's also now on Stitcher and all those other platforms. I will have them all linked down below for you. I appreciate you guys downloading my podcast, subscribing, and leaving me a review if you think I deserve it. I would really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're doing Real Housewives of New Jersey rewatch recap. I'm doing episodes 2 and 3 tomorrow on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts. That's really exciting. I'm fitting 2 episodes per episode. So I'm fitting 2 show episodes per 1 Cheeky Couch episode so we can keep it moving. And then on Sunday, we have Real Housewives of Orange County, which is so fun. And I can't wait to see you guys this weekend. I hope you're safe, sound, happy. I love you, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.